The S&P 500 hit its 47th new all-time high so far this year last week. The U.S. stock market capitalization accounts for about 40% of the total world stock market capitalization. The U.S. economy is the envy of the world. Yet in the Orwellian Trump world, the U.S. is a failing economic nation that has already sunk into third world economic status. And that is something that Donald Trump tells us in writing and verbally almost every day. And it is only Donald Trump, the self-proclaimed extremely stable genius, that can save us now from this predicament. Trump predicted that the stock market would crash if Biden beat him in 2020. Biden beat him and the U.S. stock market is at an all-time high. Trump is now saying repeatedly that Harris wants to take away not only all of our guns, but our cows as well. Yeah, you heard that right, cows, C-O-W-S, as part of her climate change plan. Did you know that? I didn't know that until I heard Trump say it. Trump made this claim about Harris's cow position in North Carolina. Harris, quote, even wants to pass laws to outlaw red meat to stop climate change, end quote. And he made this statement recently in Georgia. Quote, she wants to get rid of your cows. No more cows, end quote. If I said over and over again that I could hit more home runs than Aaron Judge, not referring to when I was in my prime many years ago, but now when I'm in less than an optimal physical condition, would that make my claim true? I'm not sure how many times it is necessary to repeat a ridiculously false statement that's demonstrably false before it becomes true in Trump world, but constant repetition is a certain way to make false statements true in this alternate reality that Trump and his followers exist in. Trump does not become an extremely stable genius by making that claim over and over again to anyone still paying attention to his endless series of boast reality creations and shameless self-promotions. Anyone who is not a member of his cult listening to him now for 90 minutes at a campaign rally could only conclude that he is unstable mentally and loonier than he's ever been. Trump does not become a genius businessman by making that claim over and over again, which he started to do in the 1980s and well into the 1990s, when he was actually losing hundreds of billions of dollars and reported losses in 2 years that were more than twice the second highest individual loss reported to the IRS in those years. Only in Trump world is that proof of being a business genius man. Trump does not become honest by saying over and over again that he is the most honest person in the world. He may mean the most honest person that's ever existed. An honest person does not make false and misleading statements measured in the tens of thousands as Trump does. Trump does not change reality by saying that tariff increases are paid by a foreign country, something he does all the time, rather than being paid by the U.S. importer who actually pays the tariff and then passes the tariff increase on to you. About 40% of U.S. households pay no federal income tax, but they would be paying Trump's tariff increases, and all would consequently have their federal taxes increased by Trump. Now, Trump does not admit that he will, in effect, raise your taxes through increasing tariffs on foreign products. Instead, he raises your taxes in a silent, deceptive, and surreptitious manner. Ask yourself why he says over and over again that the foreign country pays the increase in the tariff tax. The reason is to fool you into believing that the tariff increases have no impact on you at all. His billionaire supporters want the government to raise money in this manner. Only a shameless carnival barker would assert, without breaking into uncontrollable laughter, that he could have prevented the Hamas attack on Israel in October of last year, Russia's invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, the U.S. Civil War before it started, and could even end the Ukraine war in one day. Part of Trump's self-created myth is that he is a master negotiator that can solve any problem. It is either shameless boasting untethered from reality or deeply delusional. Hard to tell sometimes which one is the right conclusion to make about a Trump statement. Is he delusional, or is he just trying to manipulate you with information that he knows is false? Yet Trump makes these kind of claims all the time about being able to change history with a simple negotiation with the other side. Trump does not prove that he is a master negotiator by bankrupting several businesses. His expertise primarily involves creating a false image as a genius businessman and then licensing his name to others who take the business risk for virtually every product imaginable: Bibles, $600 or $500 garish sneakers, $100,000 watches that are Swiss made, perfumes, steaks, vodka, board games, and on, etc., etc., etc. Without the Apprentice TV show, he would have faded into obscurity a long time ago, and deservedly so. We all know what Trump's peace plan for Ukraine is. It is the same as Putin's plan. If Trump wins, no new military or economic aid will be approved, and Trump will cut off any remaining aid, or at least try to do so, that's in the pipeline. Trump will tell Zelensky that he must accept the Russia's peace terms, which would include absorption of about 1/5 of the internationally recognized territory of Ukraine into the Russian Federation, Ukraine agreeing that it will never join NATO nor receive any Western weapons, and in exchange for those and other promises, Putin would say that he will try to honor treaties that he already has violated, including a treaty that he would respect the territorial integrity of Ukraine. That is how a master negotiator in Trump world works, by caving in to Russian territorial aggression, by giving Russia what it wants. Trump's skill as a negotiator in the past has involved basically just refusing to pay what he owes to people and then dragging them or their businesses through expensive litigation in order to collect what he owes. Many will just not go to that expense, since it would cost them more to litigate than it would if Trump paid them in full. There was a story in USA Today detailing how Trump refused to pay small businesses what he owed, bankrupting several in the process. I'll cite the article in the More section below, and some of those issues involved also refusing to pay wages that were due. Knowing Trump's history in stiffing the average worker and businessman, it is amazing that anyone actually believes that he cares about the average person, but millions are convinced, and nothing will ever convince them otherwise. Trump's tariff increases proposals would add about a $1,500 to $1,700 tax on the typical American family, as I have noted in several prior videos. That would include households that currently pay no federal income tax. And yet, many of those people will be voting for Trump and are in favor of his tariff proposal, even though they can't afford it.